moving along. All right. So once again, he's going to be going over LinkedIn generation, lead generation in specific. I've been with him for over a year, and he's been working with me for over a year. We get at least 30 to 40 leads. When I say leads, I mean actual book phone calls. I don't just mean, someone saying, "Hey, how are you doing, bro?" It's just what you get a lot of times on Facebook and shit like that. So, but let me enter all these in. As usual, give them your due respect and raise your hand if you have a question. I'm sure a lot of you are going to have lots of questions because people have already started sending questions over to me. And as your hands are raised, basically we'll just have him answer them and go through them. And just pay attention. End of the class, like usual, about an hour after the class, we'll have Q&As and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Drew. And I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, William. I appreciate you doing this for me, and
You're welcome.
I'm really excited to share this with everybody. Want to welcome everyone. Again, my name's Drew. I actually run my own agency as well, called LED Marketing, and I've known William for over a year now. Worked together on a couple things, and started introducing him to this, and it's really generating some leads for him, and has been over the past year or so. So now let me go ahead and share my screen. Do I have permission?
I'll give it to you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
You're good to go now.
Alrighty. All right, let's get over here. Okay. Everybody see this? All right, so I'm excited to share this exclusive LinkedIn lead generation software. So with this software, we can end up booking 5 to 10 appointments per week, and it's basically on autopilot. So it basically connects you with thousands of business owners. And I'm not just talking just getting in the door. Usually you run into the gatekeeper. We can actually target directly to the decision makers, and specifically for whatever niche that you're targeting. Now, it automates a sequence of messages that you customize, and it introduces yourself, your business, and your services in a number of message sequences. However you want to do it, you could be as soft or as hard of an approach as you want to be. We found mixed results on everything. The softer approach, obviously, you're going to have that conversation drag out a little bit further and end up booking the appointment. Now, a lot of this stuff is a bit of a numbers game, like everything in marketing. But I do want to kind of kick this off by just diving in and exploring a little bit. So let's start here. Now, this is your main dashboard. You kind of have a different array of things going on in here. You can see your active campaigns, your upcoming tasks. There's some statistics over here. And this is your main workstation, your inbox. So when you come in here, this is all of the leads, all of the appointments, everybody that you're going to be communicating will show up right in front of you. Now, sky's the limit with this. I mean, you don't have to use LinkedIn, your own personal profile to communicate with these folks. Everything is done right here, and it syncs directly up with your personal profile. As an example, as we were talking, these aren't just people that are just saying hello, hey, just checking in, like William was saying. A lot of these folks are actually saying, I appreciate you reaching out. I'm actually interested. And then all you got to do is just respond, send them your calendar link, get them to book the call right then and there. What's a good day and time, and just get it done. And then let's check out this one right here. As you can see up here, share when's a good time. Here's my calendar link. And this is all coming from, as you can see, all on the same day. That's already 2 set appointments that I got in one day. Just from doing this, it runs itself. I just come in here and sort through it and monitor it 30 minutes a day. You obviously you can, if you know William good enough, he has VAs that you can grab. just hire a VA and let them at it, you know, how to have them handle this for you. So it really doesn't take much time out of your day. Just going through some more examples. Would be interested in a quote. You know, so this is an opportunity I haven't replied to you yet. It's very simple. You just click in the box. You say, yeah, great. What day and time can we hop on a quick call? You know, something. Obviously, I got to spell correctly to do that. But very simple. You just hit send, sends it right out to them. They get it in seconds. All right. Now, the other cool thing about this, besides just getting messages and booking leads and appointments, it doubles up as also data scraping. You see on this right-hand side how there's a sidebar. Not only do you have your chat window, but you get some information pulling directly from LinkedIn of that person. So you might connect with all these folks. Maybe you don't, you know, book every single conversation that you have, but you can also have your VA scoot right through here and build some lists. You have a call list, you got the phone number, you got their website, so you can run your own audit or report. If you do that going into a pitch, sometimes they have social media here and their email. You know, so you can build your own lists. You can again have a VA just go through here and just plug away all day long. You know, and just go through everything. So that's the inside scoop of your inbox and kind of how you communicate. I need to catch up a little bit. Obviously, I got some messages that I need to take care of, but just want to show you another cool feature of this too is, you know, how do you know that this is working effectively? You know, you want to track metrics, you want to be able to track everything that you're doing. Obviously, there's got to be some statistics involved. So easiest way to do that is come over to your campaign. For example, these are a couple ones that I ran a little while ago. Sports. So I targeted the sports niche, and you just go up here to stats. You click on stats and it has everything right in front of you that you need to know. Okay, so these are the amount of connection requests that are going out for folks on LinkedIn. So you're connecting with new people that you target through the campaign. It sends out a connection request and a soft message with that connection request. Now they can choose to connect with you. They can respond to that message. Whatever they decide to do, it's going to trigger something else. Okay. So for example, if they connect with you, it's going to automatically send out the next message sequence. Okay. If they reply to you, it's going to show up in this inbox and you can go through and see what they said. If they just say, hey, hello, you know, like we were saying earlier, you can easily just hit a button that sends out the next sequence. It's right there in front of you. It says continue sending messages. Now, after you have your campaign going, I recommend running this for at least 3 weeks before you touch it. You know, obviously go through your messages, but let it do its thing. It's got to adjust. You got to see the rates and everything. The further you go, you'll start getting these numbers increasing. You want to be above 20% connection rate. Okay, so anything above 20%, you're doing something right. You have the right list, you have the right audience, you have the right soft message to start with. Okay, now how they respond, you want to have 7 to 10% or higher for this section right here for the replied. That is your actual response. You know, how many conversations are you actually diving into that might be interested? You want that number to be at least 7 to 10% or higher. Okay. If you have all these numbers hidden, there's no reason why you can't be booking leads and appointments. I mean, we're talking set appointments that you can easily, like you saw what I did, you just send them your calendar link or you just ask for a day and time to hop on a call. Okay. All right. So, you know, the next thing that I want to show you over here too is this isn't just for, you know, your typical lead generation, booking appointments for SEO and for web design. And I even use it for graphic design and things like that. But I'm also running it for a client, a cybersecurity client of mine, to build an email list. they're launching a book and they just want someone to come back to a landing page to sign up to email list. We got him over 1,000 signups in a month, which is huge. So just imagine what you can do in terms of, I mean, sky's the limit basically with that. So for example, just to show you some stats in his, we're looking at this one that really took off. Look at that connection rate. When you have credibility and you have a good soft pitch in the beginning, I mean, that's 67% connected with him. Same percentage right here, what we want a response, above 10%, right? So that resulted in, a good portion of these folks actually going to the website, signing up to the mailing list, and we even tracked that. Now, coming back over here, let me get back to you. This is my partner's profile. I'm going to yell at him later because he's got 40 messages in here, but just look at this. Look at all these replies, all from today. Got 40 replies. So this thing works. You just got to keep at it. All right. Now, what he's doing is not only can you target new connections, but you can target, if you already have a profile on LinkedIn and you've already been, going at it for a little bit, you might have been doing this yourself manually, or had a VA trying to do it for you. You can remarket all of your current connections through a messenger campaign, which is exactly what we're doing on my partner's profile right now. Is we're running a marketing campaign. And again, that's where all these are coming from. I mean, look at these percentages. It's hitting right where it needs to be. That's why we're booking appointments. All right. Now through the next steps, I'm going to show you how to set up the campaigns, how simple it is. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go over to your connector. Actually, let me get back over here to my profile here. So we want to go to the connector. And we want to click up top, just hit new campaign. And you just make whatever title you want. I'm just going to do test. Let's say like electricians. Right. So let's hit the electrician niche. All right. So I already had one. You can, if you already have other campaigns, you can copy in the steps from those, or you can just start from scratch. Okay. So you just hit create a connector campaign. And then it'll pop down here. Last one, right? So you just want to click on that. Okay. And then we have to set up our message sequences. So we go into the tab that says steps. And I pulled these over, but we can just kind of walk through them. So I usually do a sequence of 3. You can do however many you want. I mean, there's really no limitation to it. And you can set how many days it waits to send if there was no reply, things like that. So you can edit all this stuff. What I typically do is a very soft or kind of comical introduction. We say hi first name. You can actually use tags. So it pulls the tags right from LinkedIn. Okay, so hi first name. If you're open to connecting, I'm always available to chat about business or even how to make the best burger you've ever had. Some folks are actually interested in that burger. We send them a burger recipe just for fun. And then when someone connects, or if we continue that connection, we go right into the welcome message. And this could be, you could do it 2 different ways. You could take a very soft approach. You can pitch them hard as hell if you want to, and just try to play the numbers game. Either way, you can still get results. You just kind of have to feel it out and kind of go with your own philosophies on that. But what we've done for SEO and websites is offer something in the very beginning. Say, hey, thanks for the connection. Let me introduce myself. I'm Drew, an SEO and website expert. I help businesses drive more organic traffic to their website. The first name, I'd like to offer you a free website and SEO audit. What's your website URL? They send you the URL, or they say no. What's going to, they're not going to jump through the computer at you. So once you get that website URL, run a free audit. Do what you do. Put it into your reporting system, and then once you have that back, you can send them the report. You can tell them to hop on a call to go over the report, however you want to approach that. But the best thing to do is just drag out the conversation. Once you get them into a conversation, ball's in your court, you know, so take control of that. If they aren't going to respond to this next message, you come down here, and I have it set for a week later to respond. You can really change this to whatever you want. You can send it a day after. I mean, it goes all the way up to months, even if you really wanted to keep your campaign going that long. But I usually keep it around either 5 or 7 days. All right, and once you have everything set, everything the way that you want it, come up here and you hit save. All right, and then right here, this little button right here, that's what flips it on. So you just turn on your campaign, hit the button, make it go green. All right, now you're live. If you already uploaded your list, okay, so that's the next step. So you have your campaign set, you have your steps. Now you got to get the people. Where does that come from? All right. So the cool thing about LinkedIn is LinkedIn has a built-in offering that they have called Sales Navigator. You guys might be familiar with that. This is fueled by Sales Navigator. Okay. So you do have to have a LinkedIn profile. You have to have it has to be a personal profile, can't be a business profile. And you have to have Sales Navigator. Okay. Sales Navigator, you can get a free month trial for the first month, and then it's like $79 a month. It's really not much, but it's definitely worth it, regardless if you're doing this or just using LinkedIn in general. Okay, so just something to think about. So let's hop over here to Sales Navigator. All right, so this is Sales Navigator, what it looks like, very simple to use. What you want to do is you want to come up here and go to filters, and you can type in, I usually put my niche in here for keywords, anything related to your niche. So let's do electricians. And then currently I'm targeting the US, but you can literally target wherever you want. Okay. So let's click United States. Now you can pick certain areas. So if you just want to do like San Francisco or, you know, Los Angeles, DC area, we'll just go with the whole US for now, and then try to dwindle this list down. And the way that we want to get the right people is by going to their title, right? So you want to target, you know, not Joe Schmo on the phone as a secretary. You want to hit the owners, right? So you just come in here, click on owner. You can click on president. You can click on CEO. They got all kinds of things. Co-owner. Anyone that you think would make a decision. See how this list started at like 270,000. Now we're winding it down a little bit, right? And then you can get even a little bit more specific if you want to. You can go to industry, you know, so let's say I want to hit the construction industry. So now it's coming down to 12K. You want to try and have a number, I would say, to have a good list, you want to be between 2 to 5K. That's a good starting point. Typically what I'll do is I'll filter this out even further after I hit the search right here. So it loads up your lists. You know, if you really want to do it correctly, you can scroll through and you can kind of pick out who you want to put in your list. But you know, you don't always have time for that. So you can always just come up here. The software is only going to pull about 2,000 to 3,000 in a campaign at a time. So if you have a large number, you can keep using this list over and over and over and over again until you get through it. Okay. And this updates constantly. So if new folks join LinkedIn, or if other folks just hop on here and put that they actually work at electrical, they'll actually pop up. So this is going to put, you know, how you see anything related to that industry is going to pop up here. Okay, so what we do here is you can save the search if you want to. Let's say save, let's say new electricians. Now this hooks up to your email, so you don't really want alerts going off all the time. Just hit a never. You can save the search. And then what you want to do is this URL up top. That's what you want to keep. So you just want to copy this. You can paste it into a Word document, or you just have your software open right here and import your lists. All right. And William, stop me if I'm missing questions because I don't see it popping up. All right. So here's what we want to do when we want to get our new listing here. So we go to start new search. We can name it. I think I did, what was it? Test electricians. Oops, I'm spelling that. Right. So you just name your search. Make sure this says Sales Navigator. And then paste this in here. And then you just click add search task. All right, so that's going to load up. Now this part takes a little bit, takes about 5 minutes or so to generate the whole list. It will kick in. It's going to show up right here. It'll say waiting. Just come back later. You know, you can sit here all you want and hit refresh, but I mean, it's gonna take a little bit. It's got to pull in thousands of folks. I already have a test one right here that I already did earlier, so I'll just use that to skip ahead. So at this point, we want to get this list. So this is your search panel. So all your searches would have been here. I did a couple searches previously. You can see it goes back several months. Sports and spiritual really did some good bookings for me. All right, so let's click on electricians. Right, so now we want to do is we want to load this up into a new connector campaign that we just created. Okay, so we want to click this button right here, add all new people to the connector campaign. And we want to pick the one that we did. Test electricians. And then you want to hit add. All right, and that should be queuing everything up for us. Okay, so wait, we check that. Let's go back to our, let's see, you see how they're starting to load in here. All right, so now we go back to our connector campaign. And it pulled over the ones that were left in that list right here, the test electricians. So that is queued up and that should be shooting out any moment. All right, now just want to go back to the inbox here. So now you start getting messages coming in. It's going to take a little bit of time to start fluttering in messages. It's got to go through the whole sequence. Now this software does something very important that nothing else like it does. It limits the amount that goes out, so it protects you from shutting down. You might notice on Facebook, I think someone said in the messenger when we first kicked it off, is Facebook the divvy of social media, right? So Facebook shuts you down if you do. Obviously, William knows. I see him getting shut down, but they shut you down all the time. Yeah, LinkedIn will do that too. I knew you would like that.
You can't send too many of them out. You know, I've heard that you can't go in there and just blast everybody, and then you'll get shut down just like Facebook.
Yep. Yeah, see that's the cool thing that this does, is it prevents you from sending too many out. So it will take its time to release the messages on a algorithm. Okay, so that's what your protection comes in. So you won't get suspended, and it'll still give you production. Okay. Now, couple things you want to be aware of in here, and let's see if I can find someone that's not interested, which is a good problem to have, right? Okay, so never mind, they want some graphic work. Let me check them. All right. Yep, and it's another one. I'm trying to find one that's not a lead. There we go. This guy already has an agency under contract, right? So this is an example where Oh, hang on one second. Let me refresh this real quick. All right.
Drew,
So,
Drew,
yep.
sorry, could you give them an
Yeah, go ahead.
example? For example, this isn't just for agencies. You could use this for lead generation. Someone that has a house, homeowners, property
Mhm.
management type people, stuff like that. How would you use it to generate leads for people, let's say, that
Mhm.
are, homeowners that may be looking for a new
Yep.
roof or, fence
Mhm.
installation, something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, that all comes from the sales navigator. I mean, that's all your search, building your list. That's really where it's going to come from. So for example, we can really change out any of these keywords. Now, if you're going for more of like offering a service, you're going to want to take more of a wide approach to it and just focus on location instead. And that's where it comes into um, really targeting geographically. So let's say, San Francisco Bay Area, right? And you want to find someone, um, with a certain title, or let's go in here to the filters real quick. Oh, yeah, go look in here. So you can really come in here and just kind of pick out your titles of position, right? So you want to find someone that's actually working, and you can find someone how many years they've been in their position, seniority level, etc. So it does work a lot better for B2B, but you can use it, for residential, for service based as well. For those types of things, you just have to go location based when you do that. Make sure you have your copy done correctly. Okay. Um, Now, like I mentioned, you can use it for other things too, like for the example of building lists, getting people to show up to websites, driving traffic, or any kind of landing page or form. You can really do that however you want. So that's all going to be from your Sales Navigator search and from how you present your copy with your steps. Does that make sense? All right. I did want to show how you dispo in here. It's very simple. Just come over here. So for example, this person's not interested. So you just hit not interested on there and it changes it to that. You just kind of go through. If you get one where you need to keep the message sequence going, you hit that button and you click this right here, continue sending messages. Okay. All right. So just to recap a couple things too, again, with the requirements for this, you have to have a LinkedIn profile. It has to be a personal profile. You have to have at least 100 connections on there. They're not just going to let you act like you just plopped up a profile. So you have to have a picture. You have to have your profile filled out, like brief summary, etc. But that also helps you, it builds credibility too. Like for example, with mine, I have, I scale businesses and brands by designing modern websites, making groundbreaking returns, etc. And just fill out some fluff in here, eventually folks are going to start giving you endorsements and things like that. I already got 6, in each category there, so the more connections you make, the more relationships you'll get, but it all starts with that profile. So don't skip that step. Make sure you actually fill that out and build up some connections first if you don't have a profile yet, and then you should be good. And then the last thing is Sales Navigator. Okay, you have to have a Sales Navigator subscription in order for this to work. It works hand in hand. And as you saw, it's a very powerful tool, regardless if you even take on this software or not. Okay. All right. So now, before I dive into, how we can do any kinds of offers, etc. Anybody have any questions, or William, do you have any direct questions?
No, I'm good. I mean, if y'all have questions, I'm sure plenty of y'all do because I know y'all
Mm-hmm.
by now. Just raise your hand and Drew will take it from there and just answer any questions. I know For instance, we'll use it for lead generation, then also we do it for SEO audits, and he handles all that shit for me. So, but
Yep.
the free audits is a really good one. For example, a lot of times what people I see make mistakes in just sales, not just with this, but they just come out the door and say, "Hey, I'm an SEO expert. I help people, blah 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 blah," and they don't even there's like no soft pitch. Hey, how you doing? Nothing. It's just, "Hey, I'm here." Like
Yep.
one I got from a guy. His name is Russ Ward. He's really good. He says, "Hey, Kaval, I noticed that you're in the personal injury space. I thought it would be good to connect." You're just trying to get them to really just respond. In sales, what we used to say is as long as they're on the phone, they're still interested. As soon as I can get them to communicate back with me, I know they're interested. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely.
go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, and that's what I was going over with this second message that I send out here. Yeah, for example, let me introduce myself. I'm Drew, an SEO and website expert. I help businesses drive more organic traffic to their website and then offer a free audit.
Correct.
You can do it even softer than that too. So get creative with it. It's whatever you really want to approach this with your philosophy. Okay. All right. Now there's two things that we have. So like what I do for William, we can run these campaigns for you. So you can be completely hands off if you don't want to mess with this at all. Now we set everything up. We do the list for you. We hop on an onboarding meeting one-on-one, and we'll just go over what you're looking for, get everything hooked up correctly. And that starts at $500 a month to do this. Okay. Think of the value there, because if you're running Facebook ads, what's the market right now? Was it like $30 a lead or something?
Yep.
Something like that.
Facebook's really insane right now with the leads and
Yeah.
anything.
So you're booking 5 to 10. I mean, you're talking
At least 5 to 10. At least we're getting 5 to 10 calls a week. We're getting at least 40 a month. So,
okay. So I mean, that would be like 1,200 plus bucks for Facebook. If you did the same thing.
yep.
Probably a little bit more, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean, this
don't
is
do
only
any Facebook anymore after I got this program. So,
yep. So that'd be $500 a month for us to run this for you. You can hop in at any time. You can do so on your personal LinkedIn profile. Okay, you still have all the messages right in front of you. Expect your profile to blow up when you do this too, because you'll have those messages all over the place. All right. Now, if you want it to be more exclusive for you, for your agency, for whatever you want to do with it, even if you want to sell it to anyone else as a service too, we can give you exclusive lifetime access to the software. We will do a one-time setup for you. It includes the SOP. We'll even give some documents on how to set up your steps. Okay. Now that for the software, for the exclusive access, it's $1,500 for one time. Okay. And it's yours. We set you up, get you acclimated, do onboarding one-on-one, and we'll be available for you for the first 30 days for any kind of questions or training, etc. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open it up. Questions. I know you guys probably got lots of stuff to say. We can dive into that.
questions. Don't be so quiet. Y'all usually talk like I don't know what. So,
There's a couple hands up.
I can't see them
I
for
can't
some
see
reason. Let's
not
see.
one hand. So let me see here.
I see Harley and Graham.
Where's that? Where's the chat?
I think it's actually under participants. Open your participants and you'll see the hands.
Yep, Harley. Go ahead, Harley.
I saw that William asked about the services, and when you were running through that, it looked like it was just like general managers, CEOs. I mean, do you have a longer list of who you can connect with?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Sales Navigator goes all the way down the list. I mean, you can be as general or you can be as specific as you want in terms of title. Yep, you can even type it into the field there for example, if you go over here to title, I mean, you can start typing anything like secretary. I mean, it's going to pop up, you know, several examples of secretary, you know, so you can get as specific as you want.
Graham, go ahead.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm not feeling too good, but I'm all right.
I know.
I'm hearing you. I just mowed 2 lawns, Will, so I'm feeling your pain, brother. Drew, does this, like, all of this works through natively with LinkedIn? Do you have to set up like email warm-up tools and things like that for, you know, not ending up in spam folders and so forth?
Nope, not at all. That's what the warm connection message does, is it gets over that barrier. So they can choose to respond to it or just let it go. And it's going to either, if they connect with you, it's going to automatically trigger the rest of it. Yeah, so it does seem to get past that spam folder.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Sherry, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering if you could explain a little more detail that 500 a month you said, like, what is it exactly that you guys handle?
Yeah, so what we do is we set up the campaign for you. Okay, we'll do a one-on-one onboarding where we go over who you want to target, what areas you want to target, et cetera, get specific with that. We'll build the lists, we'll run the campaign, we'll monitor all this maintenance in here, like in the inbox, et cetera. Now that part of it, we can discuss if you want us to be hands-on in terms of replying to these folks, but you can also jump in at any time using your own personal profile. Does that make sense?
Yes, and so is it as many different campaigns as you want to run in that, you know, 1 month? Like, how does that work? Because let's say you have different sites, so you have like a few different sites.
Of course. So you can run as many as you want. We found best success running 2 or 3. You don't want to really go above that because remember, it limits the amount that goes out to prevent you from shutting down, right? So you don't want to get too many, then you can't get your statistics that you want.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brock.
I wanted to know like your theories and ideas on how important your profile is. I mean, isn't that a critical step to improving conversions? Do you, I guess, offer any direction on improving your profile?
So, yeah, absolutely. Great question. So it is very critical. Like, for example, the cybersecurity one that I showed you guys, they had a lot of credibility, you know, already. That's why they had higher success. You know, obviously it was a different campaign that they were doing, but his profile is, you know, he's got tons of connections already and it's all filled out. He's got the credentials from being in business for 20 plus years, right? So there are actual things with LinkedIn. They have videos on LinkedIn that actually teach you how to set up your profile correctly. And that, so if I can actually gather those up for you too. To show you some of those as well, but I mean, but yeah,
we all, as I say, we all know in our game that there's always little shortcuts. So I was just kind of curious, like what you found, like, you know, your headline versus your profile picture versus, you know,
that's
past experience, like, you know, what really sticks out when it comes to conversions?
It's really going to be this. Let me go back to mine. This headline right here. Okay, that comes through in your message. Okay, so whatever you want to present right here, that's what's going to show up. And then when they click on your profile, you want to have your about section filled out. You know, I had something short and sweet, a couple questions there. And then your experience. Education is not really important. I just threw it up there. And then skills and endorsements are something good to get in your conversations. When you're making connections with people, you're going to run into other agencies. You're going to run into other folks on here that might be doing something similar or just might be utilizing LinkedIn. Make sure you don't just don't just tell them to go away or just end the conversation. You could actually work together, share endorsements. That really helps. You give them an endorsement and have them give you one back. So filling out your profile like that is very, very important. Yep.
Sweet. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any other hands up?
Go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, so I was wondering a little how this incorporates if we would buy the software, we just connect to whoever's, if we're doing it for other people or doing it for ourselves, we're able to connect to their accounts separately, individually, all in the same software to run all these campaigns.
Exactly. That's what this is right here. Okay. So you can add as many LinkedIn accounts as you want under your profile. Okay. So you get one main account where you log in under your LinkedIn. Actually, you get an email and password that you'll create in the beginning. Okay. And then what you'll do is you hook up your LinkedIn profile to that. And then when you get to this, the accounts, you actually hook up individual LinkedIn accounts. Okay. So you can do as many as you want.
Okay. And I guess you'll tell us how we can purchase that sometime tonight yet, or?
Yep, absolutely. So I think what we're going to do, William, are you going to have them come to you?
No, I'm going to actually put all the information. Hey, I'm going to email it out for the SOP because he actually sent me a SOP on how to run everything. And then on top of that, I'm going to send everybody his information like I always do. And it will be in the back of the course. So if you ever have questions where it's at, or if you just want to reach out to me and you're interested, I'll send you directly over to him. And y'all could take it from there, really.
Yep, absolutely. William, I'll send you my calendar link too if you guys just want to book a call.
Even better.
We can hop on a one-on-one and go through this even further if you want to.
Harley, go.
Yeah, I was just looking at the upcoming task, and you have about halfway down Brendan Williams. Is he a pressure washer? Because I know Brendan Williams in Tennessee.
That's funny. That is very possible. Let's see. It's not going to tell me. It's not going to give me until it actually sends out. But that's yeah. I mean, I've ran into people on here that I know, doing this. So it's not uncommon.
Any more questions? We got a few more minutes, so get them in. Sean, go ahead, bud.
Hey, thanks, Drew, for this presentation. Everything, man, it was awesome. What I'd like to know is on so the software you're saying run 2 to 3 campaigns. So that means you're running about 6,000 active, like trying to get active users. Like that's what you're going after, because you said it was a max of 2,000.
Yeah. So each campaign list typically holds about 2,000 names in there. But you can constantly refresh it. You can always remember how in Sales Navigator, I came up with like 28,000 results, right? So obviously you're not going to do 28,000 on that one. So what you do is after it runs its course, all you got to do is go back in here to the search, and there's a refresh button on the actual, on the search right there. It's like a little icon right here. See it? Restart search. You just hit that button, it refreshes everything, and then you just do the same thing. Hit add all new people, and then pick the campaign. Now 2 to 3, like I said before, it limits how many it sends out. In a month, we're probably connecting with about 3,000 if the numbers are right. Okay. Even if that sounds low, it's not the same as like impressions, we're not, you send out like for a typical marketing campaign, or like a display campaign, we'll do 75,000 impressions for like $1,000 or something, right?
On top
But
of it,
these,
the quality of the people that you're going to get from LinkedIn is
Mhm.
much higher versus Facebook. I love
Exa-
Facebook,
Yep.
you know, organic marketing, but
Mhm.
the lead quality is a lot less. You know,
Mhm.
it's not good
Yep.
for the most part.
Yeah, the lead quality in LinkedIn is so much higher. Like the dollar value is just a
Correct.
premium.
Yep.
It was just that I wanted to see. So you're saying probably about a max of 3,000. I'm just looking at the aspect. If I start this, follow your SOP, and start offering this to clients, they're gonna be like, well, how many thousand can I do or whatever, you know, like everybody's gonna try to push the limit. I just wanted to know
Gotcha.
the max.
Yeah. So I haven't tried to push it to the max because I don't want it to break.
Yeah, I hear you. I wouldn't want that either.
So, and the good thing is that it has support built in, so you can go in here and you can actually chat if you need technical support. Okay. But I mean, really, to be honest with you, it's going to be more about quality, not quantity, in terms of how many's going out.
Cool.
How many actually connect with you is going to be a lot less number than how many are in your list. You know, that's why we look at these stats. And if
for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
What you really need to stress to these folks is you want to be above 20% in your connection rate, and you want to be above, you know, shoot for 10 or higher, 10% or higher in the reply to your messages, right? If you're hitting these numbers, you're booking appointments.
Nice.
Just the way the numbers are. And as you saw in my inbox, I haven't cleared it out, obviously, but I just went through a couple and they're all, you know, people interested. So that's just from today and yesterday. Just imagine doing that constantly, or having a VA on here 24/7, going through everything, talking to folks. How many leads can you turn into appointments that haven't already turned into appointment by itself? And then how much data can you scrape? I mean, look at this. You got emails, you got phone numbers, you got websites. You know, this is a Calendly, but you know, just as an example, not everyone's going to have that stuff, but a lot of them will, you know, so you can scrape the data too.
Awesome.
Best part about that is this little button right here, export contacts to CSV file. So you can throw it over to your Excel sheet. Boom, you got your list.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Brock.
I want to just ask you if you had any direct success with B2C campaigns instead of B2B, because I mean, B2B makes sense to me on LinkedIn, but B2C, a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, B2C. So we've done previously in the past, a client of ours, Zorian, who does e-commerce. Okay. And what we did with him is we helped him build the email list while at the same time offering a product. We did more of a general approach, and that is obviously LinkedIn's geared more towards the B2B, really. So when you come down to it, 'cause of who you can target specifically based on, you know, your industry and title. But I mean, he's selling baseball bats. I mean, you can think there might be people high up and owners and folks like that love baseball, and you just target a certain area. And we did commemorative bats, you know, like award bats, or like you just got to get creative with it. So the sky's the limit with it. You just gotta have your mind open a little bit further with that. But there was success with that. There was success with authors, with sending out books, or launching books, right? Book launches. We've had success with, a big success with, you know, just spreading information and awareness. We have a nonprofit that took advantage of this as well. And they wanted to spread some things about COVID awareness in their county. You know, we ended up doing a website for them, and we helped the county behind the scenes. You know, just spread awareness of getting people back to that website. You know, so there's different things that you can use it for. You just got to get a little creative.
Go ahead, Harley.
I think this is okay to say because they're not a SEO agency, but Drew, you may want to contact Dope Marketing out of Minnesota.
Okay.
Because they gather lists for pressure washers, and this might be something that might be beneficial for your connection.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Gene, go ahead.
Do you have any way to integrate with Zapier, like to funnel these onto a different CRM or email campaigns, things like that?
Yes. Great question. So it does have Zapier integration. I haven't personally used it because I strictly just, use this to book appointments right then and there. And I have a VA that scrapes data for me that just does all that. But yes, you can hook up Zapier integration.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I have a question. As far as the limited software, is that also including like how many accounts or users? Is that?
Yep. Great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, so what you need to understand too. So the 1500 gives you lifetime access to the software. Okay. And you can do whatever you want with it, right? You can resell it to other folks as a service. You can add as many accounts as you want. They do it by seats. Okay. That's what they're called. They're called seats. And these seats are a monthly of 75. Okay. So it's 75 a month for a seat. And then it's the, you can literally do that as many times as you want. There's different levels, but you want to take the top one.
Okay. And so
Okay.
when you get the $1,500 access, how many seats does that one come with?
As many as you want.
Well,
how many does that come with? Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that, so with the 1500, that's giving you the access to it. Okay. So you have to get your own seat to run it if you want to run it. You'll always have access if you don't have it hooked on, but if you have it active, you have to do the 75 a month for your seat. Okay. And then you can add on as many as you want.
I got you.
Yep.
George, go ahead.
Do you also have webhooks?
Webhooks. So right now it's just the Zapier integration, but Zapier I know you can use webhooks with, I believe.
Yeah, there's one called Pabbly Connect that you should go and check out. It's
Okay.
Really racing up the ranks, and it's going to hurt Zapier because just price wise,
Gotcha.
it's instantaneous as well.
Okay.
With signals. So yeah, really good developer. I've been with them right from the start, and yeah, just go check them out. Pabbly Connect. Now the other question I've got, Drew, is how long is this offer on the table? Is this like a limited deal or?
So because you guys know William, this is on the table. Okay.
Yep.
But it is exclusive to you guys. I did lower the price for this for you guys.
Okay. Thank you very much, buddy.
Go ahead, Sean.
So just clarification there, Drew. Sorry, you said $1,500 for the license for life, and then so then after that we pay $75 a month
per account.
Per account.
Yep, per LinkedIn account that you have hooked up running.
Oh, I see. Okay, so every time we grab a new client, we just we basically shift them the price or whatnot. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Perfect. And then so ours is $75 too, though, or?
Yeah, unfortunately, they did it that way. But it pays for itself, when you're running it. It's same with the Sales Navigator. I mean, you need it to do this in order for it to work. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks.
And just to double up on that too, I mean, the good thing, if you are planning on sharing this as an extra add-on service to other folks, just throw the cost in the retainer,
Lou, Paul, any of you guys got any questions for our rank and rent? Lead gen type stuff.
No, I'm sleeping over here. Sorry. I have.
Hey, that's what I'm doing next.
Currently, and we're not bragging. Just currently, I've got way too many things on the go, so I can't look at this point in time. But I appreciate it, and it does sound quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you.
If you ever want to follow back up, like I said, I can do one-on-ones at any time with anybody. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
What about because I noticed you send messages, but is there a possibility you can send videos as well, like within the message?
That's a great question. So through this, it's only text and links. You can hop onto your personal profile and add attachments and send videos and things. What we did is we actually have an introduction video that we hooked up into the campaign, but instead of sending the video directly built into it, we used like Vimeo or something like that, so that when you send the link, it actually, on the other end inside the message, it's just like Facebook. You'll see the actual video show up with the link, so you don't have to embed it, but you just have to put the link in there. Yeah, you could do it either way though, but this strictly through this part of it is strictly just text and links.
And as far as links, does it like pick up as spam? I'm kind of linking to like cold email, like sometimes you send too many links, it'll pick up as spam. Like, does it kind of kick you out or nothing like that?
Not at all. Nope. We haven't had any issues with spam. Gets over that barrier.
Okay.
And I have my partner Gabriel in the chat. He's sending out our calendar link. Okay. If you guys have questions, you can answer those too. If you don't want to speak up in the group.
Had kind of like an odd question.
Go for it.
So I'm just kind of curious as far as why is it that there's like a paid access to it, but then there's still a monthly access rather than just a monthly access? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Just from the exclusivity of it, you can look up this software, but you have to know someone to get in. They keep it very, very close knit, and from that it becomes valuable.
That makes sense. Yeah, because that's what I was asking, because I'm also in like another group for people, I guess, people just talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But one of them was this one and Expand AI, and people have invites to this one, and that's where, and some people recommend Expandy, whatever it is, versus this one. I was kind of, do you know what the difference is on those ones as far as the software?
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, like I said, I mean, it's going to come down to the features, really. I mean, this one has so much going on for it. Not only does it have where you can data scrape at the same time, but it protects you. Those other ones don't have limitations on, parameters for how fast these things are going out, getting over those spam barriers, not getting your account shut down. Those other programs out there, that's what happens. They don't have all of these features built into it to protect you, but also to aid you as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, great question. Now, if you're curious too, as well with the question of the 1500, you're also getting us to set this up for you for the first time, and you're getting the SOP, you're getting availability for the first 30 days, for training or for questions, etc. Okay, so that's included in that. Any other questions, concerns?
there's no other questions, just let us know because I'm going to get off here. We got another meeting coming up, and I will be uploading this on the back end for everybody, along with the SOP, along with the contact information, everything. And I appreciate again you guys coming on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I appreciate
thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks, William.
You're
Didn't
welcome.
mean to cut you off.
No, that's good. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, talk to you guys.
See you later.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.